Hey, and here we are back at another exciting edition of some super fun stuff. Today, this is just really simple, relatively, but hopefully it'll blow somebody's mind out there. So, when I have these network connected outlets, and it's really convenient to either use an app or to go to them on a web page. But, after a while, you start thinking, you're like, do I really need to use a web page? Can't I just curl it? Of course, I know that's exactly what you're thinking. And that's why I think it too. So, one day, I decided to start listening. And this is the one I actually just did. I have one that has one outlet and then one that has two outlets. This one is my first one, this oldest one. It's very simple. There's no password unless you put one in, which I didn't. And just the request to turn the outlet on and off are exactly the same. So what you do, say I have this set up with my Burp proxy. I'll turn it on and you'll see, oh, what's it doing? This is basically a keep alive here. Oh, that's to my second outlet, which is far more sophisticated than this first one. This first one doesn't have keep alives. Anyways, intercept is on. We're pointed at it. We click the on. And this is what it sends. It goes to invert.cgi. And boop, that's it. And you think, okay, well, what else can there be? You're looking here, the request attributes, stuff like that. There's nothing that really specifies on, off, any parameters. And you forward it, and boom, it turns on. Or off, whichever one. Outlet control. Yeah, I think it turns on. Because if it were on, it would have a red off button. I'm just going to drop that because that's my, that's like 4 pieces of Cisco networking equipment. I just don't feel like cycling them excessively. What's on this dashboard? No big deal. So you see there was no password or anything like that. All good. Now, let's turn the intercept off. Let's go to my other outlet. I'm already authenticated, but there was a user ID and password. So here, right here, are my outlets. Ugh. Look at these keep alives. It's killing me. And look at this, right? In each one of these keep alives, look at this, authorization basic. I wonder if that's a password. Well, spoiler alert, I already looked at it, and it is. I forget exactly why it gave me this error, but that's the result of that. Admin, which is my username and password for this outlet. And that's being sent in plain text on the wire every second. It's just going like clockwork. In fact, pretty continuously. It's just going to that outlet. So that's a great website design. Anyways, so the same thing. We're going to queue up this request. We say, and it's not going to show up here immediately because we have requests in queue. Let's forward that. Right here, this is probably what we want, right? Because that's different from all the other ones. You see that? Target 1, control 2, time, blah, blah, etc. If we forward that, you may have just heard a little clicky sound. That was my light coming on. And then it still does its little thing. So what's fun, we look down here, do this. If we send the exact same request, it turns the outlet off. You may have heard that. That's something, just to observe. It's just to basically, if it's on, turn it off. If it's off, turn it on. So you can use the exact same script. So my last point of this is turning it into a curl. You can right click in here, copy as curl command. Go in here. And paste that. And there's our curl command. What's really fun is if you just delete all this stuff, except maybe the authorization. We'll keep that. Let's try and delete everything else and see if it still works. Except, of course, for the host. I haven't tried this with this outlet. I did with the older one and it worked just fine. So we're going to see. That worked. Totally worked. So just, it's not surprising that taking out all the headers, isn't a big deal. Anyways, I just wanted that to be a quick little demo. Super fun. So just think about that. When you're all your Internet of Things stuff, just imagine when you click something, that's sending something on the wire to cause something else to happen. And it's possible. There are lots and lots of tools that you can manipulate just that data with. And the last thing I want to say is that, like, my original... Let me get back to Burp here. Turn off the proxy. This guy, he talks out to the internet. At least he had a DNS of like 139 dot something. And all your Internet of Things stuff, you don't want that. I mean, you look at this guy, I don't even know if he's capable of speaking in a secure fashion. But if he's been talking to the internet this whole time, then he's been sending out some just plain text garbage. So just keep that in mind. Anything that any interaction you have, that's data, and that gets sent on the wire, and it can both be read and manipulated and manually generated very, very easily.